Welcome to the Rich Flow of Life podcast. Join Valerie Kanay, the award-winning authority author, as she takes you on a journey for your personal evolution. Valerie Kanay talks to enlightened featured guests who hold the keys to unlock your unique life situation. They each bring to the table their very powerful personal spin to inspire and empower you to learn to step up your game into the rich flow of life.
Everybody, I'm Valerie Kanay, and our featured guest today is Vishal Morjaria. I'm so honored, pleased, and proud of him. You know, in your heart of life, there's nothing short of a spiral of greatness that he's experienced in recent years. But I'll tell you, it wasn't always like that. But things have gotten better and better for Vishal. Today, he's hot, 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 like the lava boiling down the hottest volcano. Oh, yes, this is my friend, Vishal. Let me tell you a bit about him. He's the award-winning author of the book, Wow Your Way to Wealth. And in his book, he teaches you, get this, folks, the one secret you know that the super rich people tell you you've never heard before. He's also an internationally known professional speaker, bringing audiences to their feet and standing ovations. He's covering all over the map these days. His powerful message is spreading fast, fast, fast. Europe, Africa, Asia, Canada, inspiring people to live the life of their dreams. Oh my God, I'm so proud of him. Vishal, he delivers, and he knows how to bring each and every audience member to their feet. And if that's not enough, folks, Vishal is a business partner with guess who? The number one world-class top speaker on this planet, New York Times best-selling author, Mr. Raymond Aaron himself. I just love these guys. They are so incredible and amazing. So welcome, 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 Vishal, as my featured guest today.
Wow, Valerie, what an introduction. I've never been introduced so well before in my whole life. Thank you for having me on air. I'm honored to be here with you and to share this amazing interview with all your listeners.
All righty. So just step right in, Vishal, and start with where we are going to take it from the top. Well, I know you're a branding expert and you're pro and you just wow your audiences all over the world. So just start in and tell us what separates the type of people who will get success and those who just can't make it. There is a sort of a failure type mentality. What separates the two?
One of the things that people tend to forget and leave behind is that once they finish their formal education, they stop learning. And the day that you stop learning is the day that you actually start dying. And so one of the key elements that your listener needs to focus on is branding. The people who don't brand themselves, who pay no attention to branding themselves, struggle their way through life. Life is really tough. And when you're not branded, it's difficult to get ahead. So what does branding mean in this sense? Branding means that you need to stand out from the crowd and be distinguished in what you do. And it's not necessarily what you think your brand is. It's what other people think your brand is. If they think your brand is positive, they like you and they trust you and they feel a sense of, do you know what? I want what he's got, or I want what she's got. I can see the value in it. In their head, you're branded. And when you're branded, they will typically say a 3-letter word that begins with W, ends with W, and it has an O in the middle, and that word is wow.
Wow. Absolutely. So you want them to be wow.
Yes, and once you wow someone once, it means that you're now branded in their eyes. They're impressed by you. The more they say wow about you, the shinier your brand becomes. And the shinier your brand becomes, the easier it is to attract wealth into your life, opportunities into your life, things that you never even dreamed of into your life.
So let me ask you a question, Vishal. Is this just for products, services, or programs, or can anybody establish a brand that they can wow their audience, their customers, their clients? Can anybody do this?
It applies to the individual and it applies to the company. Any wealthy company or individual is well branded. And so it applies all across the board.
Very cool. And are
And
there specific ways of branding, strategies that people can use to do this?
Valerie, you just read my mind. I want to give you a quick example of branding. I was speaking to 100 entrepreneurs and professionals today, and I was telling them, I said, right now, there's a man named Narendra Modi. He's the Prime Minister of India, and he has a sold out crowd waiting to hear him at Wembley Stadium in London, UK. And I'm here, and the promoter's done a great job because she's kept 100 of you away from that stadium. But the reason why he can attract 70,000 people in a stadium compared to, say, a promoter attracting 100 or 200, 300 people, which is still a huge achievement. The difference is branding, how well that person is known, liked, and trusted. Another way to look at it is if you think of the example of a salesman. I walk up to someone in the street and I say, I have a device in my pocket. It's so sought after, you can practically do anything with it. It will let you communicate with anyone, anywhere in the world. You can surf the web. You can buy things. You can do anything with this device. And it's instant and free. And right now, you can get it from me directly. I only have one in my pocket, but people will be queuing up for weeks to have this.
Exactly.
I have one in my pocket right now, which is worth £500 or $700. Would you like it?
Absolutely.
You would say that, Valerie, because you know me and you like me and you trust me. But
Right.
for the average person on the street, they would look at me all funny, think I'm crazy, and in their head be thinking, F off, who are you?
Oh, no.
But let's look at it in this way. The same thing happens, but the conversation goes like this. Hi, my name's Steve Jobs, and I have a device in my pocket that will allow you to do anything that you wish to do. It'll allow you to communicate with anyone, anywhere in the world. You can buy stuff on this device. You can do anything you ever dreamed of on this device. It's instant and it's free. It's called the iPhone 7. It hasn't yet been released, but when it is released, people will be queuing up for weeks. But I have one in my pocket, and it's only £500 or $700. Would you be willing to have it for that amount? And most people who are fans of Apple will say, yes, give it to me right now.
I want it.
The difference between the two, the difference between me and Steve Jobs is that he's so well branded in that field of technology. And you need to figure out, what is it that you want to be branded in? What is it that you want to be known for, so that when you approach clients, customers with your product, your service, your message, your story, whatever it is, they will be more willing to buy it because you're so well branded in their eyes.
Okay. So how do they figure it out, Vishal? Is there some methodology, some strategy? How do you go about to sort this out?
Great question. I love that question. So there are 4 great ways of branding yourself. The 4th way is branding by association. This is when there is someone who's a powerful figure, a celebrity, a well-known author, someone who has some clout in terms of their status, their visibility and credibility. If they have that sense of visibility and credibility, they have that clout in the world, and you're seen to be associating with them, you're seen in a picture with them, you've interviewed them, you're having lunch with them, and there's some proof of that. If your prospective clients and customers see that, they will be, wow, they'll be impressed. And so that then gives you branding by association.
Mm-hmm.
The 3rd way is branding by acknowledgement. That is when someone who you have worked with, someone who you have helped, gives you a testimonial, gives you some kind of third-party validation to indicate how you have helped them. This could be a regular person, it could be an ordinary person, it could be someone who's famous, someone, again, who has some clout in the world. Once you have other people acknowledging you for your work, and your prospective clients and customers can see that, you are branded by acknowledgement. For example, if you have the Majesty, the Queen, acknowledging your work, people will say, wow. Barack Obama, who says, do you know what? I spoke to Valerie. She's an amazing woman. I saw her podcast, and I think it's amazing. You need to listen to her material.
Oh, good.
You get my point?
I get the point. I like that. All right.
And so when you have that kind of acknowledgement, and it doesn't have to be someone big, it could be just a regular average Joe who you've helped. Give you some kind of acknowledgement, and it's on paper or on a video or through some text or in a book or however it is, then you're branded by acknowledgement. The second way is branding by achievement. This is where you've achieved something of value and significance in your life. And when your prospective clients see that, they're impressed by that. They're wowed by that. They think, this is someone who I want to be closer to. This is someone who I want to do business with. This is someone I want to be more connected to. So when you have that kind of achievement, like if it's achieving a Guinness World Record, or if it's being nominated for an award or winning an award, anything of that magnitude, anything which is classed as an achievement, which is relevant to that which you do, will get people more intrigued and interested in buying from you and associating themselves to you. That's branding by achievement. And then the next way, the first way, you can categorize them in whichever order you wish, but I'm going back to front. The way in which you can brand yourself in the easiest way possible, the way in which you can get the easiest wow, the way in which you can distinguish yourself within the world, especially your profession, and to create your niche, to not become the expert, but to become the authority. It's called branding by authoring, branding by wow, branding by authoring, branding by wow, whichever one you like. The easiest way to create a wow is to write a book.
Yeah, it worked for me, so I know that it works.
You've done it.
Yep.
I've done it. Lots of other people around the world have done it, but very few do it correctly. And when you do it correctly and you use your book as a marketing tool, people will do backflips. People will do all sorts of things that you never even dreamt of or thought of to work with you and to be associated with you.
This is pretty awesome, and it's so insightful, that it's just amazing how we can create the products and services and programs out here and have seminars and workshops. And then, like you say, Vishal, in the very end, if you really want to turn it out, really turn up the heat and just super wow them, the book is the best way to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When people meet you and you say hi, and they say hi, and then they ask you what you do, if you tell them exactly what you do, I'm a dentist, I'm a real estate agent or estate agent in the UK, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a nutritionist, I'm an accountant. Anytime you use the death word or I know, it just gives you that feeling,
You're like, oh, really?
I know. I have like a waste bin on the side. Every time I think of the word I have to like look towards the bin to like
right. Okay.
So anytime anyone says or it's saying that they're an indistinguishable nail in the bin, that they're the same as everyone else in that industry, that they're no different from anyone else, they're average, they're ordinary. But the truth is that they're not, because they have some information. They've studied for a long time. They have some experience and some wisdom. But by saying that, they devalue themselves. They put themselves in the sea of sameness, as Raymond calls it.
Yes, he does. But what I like about you, Vishal, and I'm going to say this, is that you have the ability you're a mentor and a coach also, and you have the ability to dig in deep into a person's mind and get really into their life to help them transform and change things around. Like you said, you're able to advise them on the best moves, the best strategies to go over there about branding themselves. How is it? Where do you find your drive and inspiration from to be able to be a success in that area? Let's just get a little bit about you. What makes you be able to get into people like that? I'm just curious to know.
Okay, let me very quickly tell you my story, the very quick version of it. I was born into a broke family where life was really tough financially. And I didn't have no support. I didn't have no guidance. I didn't know how I was going to get ahead. So I said to myself that I want to make something of myself so I can take care of my family. But more importantly, I want to do something special in the world. I want to leave my mark. I want to make sure and ensure that the people who come into contact with me, my service, my message, beyond business, that they are inspired to live the life of their dreams, that they're inspired to do something great for humanity. And so I said that I want to do something great for humanity. So I said, I'm going to start off by becoming a personal trainer. So I studied to become a personal trainer, and I worked so hard for an average wage, so hard. Eventually, I got burned out physically. And then I thought, hold on, I can't take care of myself physically. How am I going to help anyone else? So then I got so lost and so confused that I started suffering from anxiety attacks, from panic attacks. I had insomnia for over 6 months. And then I was diagnosed as being severely depressed because my last port of call after everything I tried was to go to a doctor. They referred me to a psychiatrist who diagnosed me as being severely depressed. And then they called over a mental health team. They're called a peer team, the last port of call before they transfer you to a mental health institute. So they'd come and see me every week or two to see how I was doing. And after a year, being confused and lost and having attempted to take my life on several occasions, being suicidal, I finally had a glimmer of hope. I saw that, do you know what? Life can be better for me. And it was more a question of time, regardless of what I was doing. But the key was I was willing to feel better in myself. So a year later, finally, I felt a little bit better. I wasn't completely sane yet, Valerie. I don't know if I'm completely sane at the moment.
Well, you did a good job of convincing me.
I got a sense of some sanity. So I said, you know what? I'm going to pursue what I really want to do, which is make a difference in the world. And because I wasn't fully fit enough physically, I couldn't find a job. So I said, I need to take care of myself right now so that I can eat and have the basics. So I made the worst mistake I could ever make, and I decided to gamble. Oh my God, Valerie. I was trying to do the right thing, but in the wrong way. And I basically was blowing all the money that I'd saved whilst my parents and family were at home struggling to pay the bills. And I realized when I got to my last 600 pounds, which is about probably about 800 US dollars, I said, this is not my life. This is not what I want. I want to make a difference in the world. One of my dreams was to travel to a developing country to give orphan children a vision of hope by doing a sports and leadership camp. So I took the last 600 pound and I said, I'm booking my flight ticket. So I booked my flight ticket the night before I'm flying to do this work. I receive a phone call from the girl who I was seeing for 4.5 years. And she said to me, Vishal, you're a great guy and we've been through a lot. I mean, we've been through a roller coaster journey and I love you. But I finally come to the conclusion that I don't want to be with you anymore. So she dumps me on the spot the night before I'm flying to do this work. I did this amazing work with less than 600 pounds in my bank account. I went to Kenya. I lived with family and the orphan children and the manager who was taking care of the facility. And I did it on a tiny budget. And I felt really fulfilled. But at the same time, there was this huge burden on my shoulders and this huge worry because I had no money. I came back. I was lost. I was confused. I was broke. I didn't know where I was going in my life. The girl who I had a close relationship, who stuck with me through thick and thin, had just dumped me. So I didn't know what to do.
Oh my God.
I had £1.72 in my bank account, Valerie. And I said, how am I going to make it? Like, how am I going to do what I really want to do?
So what did you do?
So I went to this seminar in London, and it had 3 really well-known famous speakers, the likes of Richard Branson, Lord Alan Sugar, and James Caan. And when Richard Branson finished speaking, a man came out onto the stage. He's quite short. He had grey hair, had glasses, had a small pot belly, very small pot belly. And he was so funny, but so serious. His message was so compelling. And he was talking about the power of writing a book. And I said, I've got a book in me. I know it for sure.
You felt that. You felt it, huh?
I felt it in me. I said, this is me. I have to do this. So I ran to the back and I threw my credit card. I said, I want this. I need this. And I realized I've only got £1.72 in my bank account, which is about $3 US.
Oh my.
So I said, you know what? I've made the decision already. I've made the decision. All I need to do is figure out how I'm going to find the money. So I made a few phone calls. A few people said no, but a few people said yes. I rubbed the money together. I invested myself. And from that day onwards, I went up to Raymond, and then just after the presentation, I said to him, I'm so excited to do this. I know how this is going to change my life, but I can't come to this amazing event that you're doing with Stedman Graham, that he's going to be the guest at your event. You're going to be teaching us about branding. Stedman Graham is Oprah's man.
Oh.
I want to learn this stuff. She's one of the most well-branded females in the whole world. So I want to learn this stuff, but I'm going to do some more charity work. I can't make this event. So he said, what's your name? I said, Vishal. He said, Vishal, don't worry. I'll take great care of you. And here I am 3.5 years later, traveling around the world, teaching entrepreneurs and professionals on how they can get branded to change their lives and live their dreams.
Because you lived it. So that is so incredible and amazing, too. I've never actually heard your story before, so I really completely adore you for sharing that. You know, we talk off and on, but never that intense. So this is something new for me. So I'm just in awe and taken back about what you just shared, and I'm just delighted. You know, so it gives me a whole lot of insight now as to how you're able to reach into people because you live in it. You've done it yourself. You've lived through that sort of thing. And that's just really nice. So anyways, at this point, Vishal, our program has come to an end. And I do want to give you this opportunity to reach out and contact people that can hook into you and take some of that good old stuff you got there.
Thank you so much, Valerie. It's been amazing speaking to you. And if you've had some value from this call and you've learned something new, then head over to get my book and the bonuses that are within my book at wowyourwaytowealth.com. That's wowyourwaytowealth.com. One more time, it's wowyourwaytowealth.com.
Wowyourwaytowealth.com. I love it. So this is what we've had today, Vishal. It's been amazing. It's been incredible. I'm honored, pleased. And you know I love you dearly. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye.
You're amazing, Valerie. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to the Rich Flow of Life podcast with host Valerie Kanay. We're most appreciative you took the time to be with us. And thank you. For more action, go subscribe to Valerie Kanay Talks YouTube channel and like us on Facebook at Valerie Kanay Talks and follow us on Twitter at Valerie Kanay. Until next time, we love ya.